Hey world, I'm Wheezy, and today I'm going to show you how I made my Star Trek Combadges. Everything in this video is non-sponsored or affiliated. I'm just showing you how I created this pin. So let's get to it. Wheezy to bridge, roll that clip. I started looking at different reference pictures online of Combadges. There are many different types of Combadges, including the original, Next Generation, Deep Space Nine, Voyager, and the newest one, Picard. I ended up selecting the Next Generation Combadge and loaded it up into Lightburn. I created this outline using Alt-T, and I decided that I didn't want to do the Next Generation one. I wanted to do something a little bit simpler, so I decided just to go with the original Combadges from Star Trek. I'm going to make sure that the blue line, which is my cut line, is set to 250 millimeters per minute at a power of 80%. And make sure that it goes to 2 passes to make sure it cuts through the 1/8" basswood I'm using for this project. The purple line is just an outline for my own personal reference inside Lightburn, so I'm not going to change any of the parameters in there.
I said I'm not going to change it.
The black line is going to be my etching area, so I'm going to set that at 800 millimeters per minute at a power of 30. I am going to change the direction of the laser so that it doesn't line up with my wood grain. If it lines up with the wood grain, it does create a soft spot where it's likely to break along the grain. I don't want to recreate something that happened in my first laser engraving experience, so I'm learning from it. I'm going to set the angle at 15 degrees, and I'm going to take off crosshatch. I think it might be a little bit too busy, and it also increases the job time, and I want something relatively quickly. The laser engraver I'm using is a Laser Master 3 from Ortur. After lining it up in Lightburn in my laser engraver, I only sent through 1 row of the Combadges, just to make sure that everything cut through and was engraved to my liking before I did a full sheet of them or multiple rows. Let's make sure everything cut through before I move the wood. Again, learning from my first laser engraving experience. It looks like there's a layer. Oh, maybe not that one, but that one, and definitely that one. I'm so happy. All right, let's take it out. Not too bad. A little close to the edge on the left, but this one just popped out so beautifully. Look at it. Maybe if I just tap this one, it'll pop right out. Oh, but listen to this one. Listen. Beautiful. Yeah, maybe just a couple more taps. Wiggle it out a little bit. No, I'm gonna save it for later. Nope, can't do that. I gotta get it out. Wiggle, wiggle. Wiggle, wiggle. I'll work on this later. Nope, can't do it. It's gotta come out now. Tap, 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 tap. Ooh, wait. Ah, there we go. But apparently I have no problem leaving the outline in there. Anyway, I'm just going to gather the rest of the pieces to bring back to my workstation and get started on the next step. Look how cool that is. Pretty neat. Back at my workstation, I was able to get that outline out, so I have all my little pieces ready to go. My original design only incorporated the etched plaque and the outline as a double mounted piece, but then I'm left with these little other pieces as a byproduct, and I don't want to be wasteful. So what do? I came up with these two designs to utilize as much of the basswood as possible and not have any waste. Back in Lightburn, I'm just going to modify the parameters, not to include the first row because I already printed that out on my basswood and I don't want to re-engrave. And I'm not going to cut out the top two layers. I only want a small amount. I don't want to be inundated with Combadges. They're just for me, my friends, and my family, so I don't need that many. I also decided that the ones that are going to have the bump out and not the outline, I didn't want to engrave the back plaque. I wanted it to be the plain basswood so I could stain it. So I'm just going to go ahead and take away the engraving layer from the entire top row that I'm cutting. I'm also going to go ahead and delete the inner cut line from the Combadges so that the top row is just going to be 8 blank badges. This will give me a total of 8 Combadges that have the outline and 8 Combadges that have the negative space filled in. Back to my laser engraver, I made sure to frame up the wood as best as I could and ensured that I moved the project over just slightly to make sure that I didn't cut close to the edge like I did for the first row. And kept all the same parameters as far as cutting and etching speed and strength for the laser engraver. Now that it's all done, I'm just going to turn off my laser engraver and take all the pieces back to my workstation. I got everything out, it looks so pretty, and here are all the pieces. I'm just going to line up the outlines with the etched backgrounds and the negative space ones with the plain plaques. Which in the end, I figured out was a waste of time because I decided to do something really wacky. And here it is. Hope you enjoyed that as much as I did. Alright, so now I'm taking out my resin stains for the woods, and I'm determining what stain colors I want. I think oak is too close to the basswood color, so I don't think I'm going to do that. Instead, I think I'm going to choose out some metallic colors and leave one outline as the plain basswood. I might do some wood etching on that in a different project. And I'm just going to select the wood stains that I think will work the best. I'm using Seisso, I think I'm saying that right, wood stains. It is resin based, so I should have worn gloves, but I didn't. Whoops. And I'm going to go ahead and do one stain at a time. I'm going to do the outline, the negative space, and the back plaque. The idea is that I'm going to mix and match the various wood colors to get a variety of different Combadges. The stains that I used are original wood, amber yellow, yellow sandalwood, teak, and padak. Did I say that right? I also grabbed some gold, silver, and copper acrylic paints. I did 2 coats of the metallic paints just to give them a really nice shine. Here they're all dry and ready to be paired up with their partners. And I think this is our final selection. To glue the 2 layers together, I grabbed some Gorilla Wood Glue, an empty plastic lid as a palette, some alligator clips, and some paintbrushes. I'm placing a baby alligator clip at the bottom as a spacer, so after I glue the back of the top panel, that I have a mount to place it against to make sure that I'm all lined up. And I'm going to do that for every single batch. Pouring out a little bit of glue, a little too much glue, oh my goodness. Now that everything is prepped, I'm just going to wad up my paintbrush with a glob of glue, paint the back of the top layer. Sorry that it's out of frame. And line it up with my mount. and make sure the points are lined up. I'm going to grab another alligator clip and applying pressure, and I'm just going to keep going to the next one. I ran out of alligator clips, so I just found something heavy to hold down the last four. A couple hours later, they're all dry. The white glue has turned clear, and I'm just going to take the alligator clips off of them. Now the Combadges are ready for their pin backs. I'm going to grab a fresh palette and some glue and 16 pin backs. Again, I'm going to grab my Gorilla Wood glue. This time putting a small dab of glue. I could always add more if I need to. Wadding up my paintbrush again. Wait, let me turn these all around so they're all prepped and ready to go. Now I'm just going to take my pin backing, take a glob of glue, put it on, and smush it into the back of the Combadges, and repeat. I knew I was missing one. Let me just stick a pin back on this one really quick. Hold on. One final count and I got 16. Woohoo! So these are the final products of my Star Trek Combadges. I'm very happy with the way they came out and all the color combinations. Thank you for joining me in making these Star Trek Combadges. I had a lot of fun and I hope you did too. If you have any comments, make them down in the comment section below, and be sure to subscribe and let me know what else you'd like to see. Bye! There's only one way to make this cooler: Bluetooth.